coming straight from the Apex Court. This is regarding the hijab hearing which is currently underway. The counsel for the hijabi girls has said that, and has in fact asked a question, can you exclude someone because you think the uniform code is not right? If under the rules, can you debar someone from class for wearing a particular style of dress? That is what the court has, the lawyer has told the court. And then the court has told the lawyer, if there is no prescription, the executive power of the state comes in. Ananya Bhatnagar is tracking the story in the Apex Court and he joins me on the phone line. So Ananya, this is essentially a petition that was filed by the girls saying that they should be allowed to wear the hijab. Who is the counsel appearing on behalf of the girls?
Well, Maria, Senior Advocate Sanjay Hegde, Senior Advocate Rajiv Dhawan are representing the girls. And currently, Mr. Hegde is essentially arguing how women education in the country is something that is of very, very importance. And in fact, he also goes on to say that women are vulnerable sections of the society, and out of them, there are more vulnerable, and these girls are more vulnerable section in the access to education. Can you make it conditional? So basically, what Mr. Hegde is trying to argue is that imposing such conditions, such dress code is something that is not right as per Mr. Hegde, and who is representing these girls. And remember that this is a challenge to the Karnataka High Court order which had banned educational hijab or any kind of religious attires inside the educational institutions in the country. And now the challenge has come before the Supreme Court of India, wherein the petitioners are constantly arguing that such religious attire shall be allowed inside the educational institutions. And Mr. Hegde is currently arguing. Tough questions were also asked to Mr. Hegde, like if there is a goal, a very situational question was put to Mr. Hegde by, in fact, one of the judges on the bench, Justice Hemant Gupta, who clearly asked Mr. Hegde that if in a golf course there is a certain code of conduct, certain dress code is there, won't you follow this? So he responded that it's a private property. However, the court clarified that golf courses are in fact a public property, and the discussions are currently going on. Questions are being asked to Mr. Hegde, who is currently arguing on the point of law, and also highlighting how women education is very, very important, and such conditions can in fact bar the girls and can affect their future as well. He also goes on to say that the verdict of the Supreme Court of India would be looked at by the world itself. So this is how Mr. Hegde is trying to persuade the court with regards to
Ananya, this entire petition or a batch of petitions actually began after the girls were stopped from entering the classrooms because they were wearing hijab and they had to take the exams. Now the exams are over. What exactly is the nature of this petition? Because most of these girls actually skipped those exams because they wanted to really stick to hijab. They gave up on their education.
Well, yes, Maria, the whole incident began in the Udupi district of Karnataka, where this argument basically started between a teacher and a student, and then a massive protest had happened in the state of Karnataka, and in fact it had also spread to other parts of the country when the matter then reached the Karnataka High Court, where these girls challenged that they should be allowed to wear hijab not only inside the classroom but also during the examinations. However, the state constantly opposed it, and the Karnataka High Court in the end ruled in the favor of the state, saying that no religious attire can be in fact allowed inside education institution, because this is somewhere very uniform is necessary. All the students have to be treated equally, and a lot of detailed judgment was given out by the Karnataka High Court, and now the matter has reached the Supreme Court. All these girls have challenged the order of the
and the
Karnataka
High Court
Court
had stated then that wearing hijab is not an essential religious practice in Islam, and that the freedom of religion under Article 25 of the Constitution is subject to reasonable restriction. Ananya continues to be with us. Also on the show is Harish, who tracks the developments in Karnataka. Some more developments coming in on this story. Now, continuing with the hearing, the Supreme Court has told Mr. Sanjay Hegde, who is appearing on behalf of the girls wearing hijab, can we have a situation where girls can be allowed to wear minis and midis or whatever they want if there is no power by the government to enforce uniform? So the question being asked is that if it is about uniform, then certainly that space should be respected. And the argument again is going in the direction similar to what we saw, Ananya, in Karnataka High Court, that if it is an institution which has a dress code, then you have to follow that dress code. You cannot not follow the dress code. If you have an option and if you want to wear hijab, then go to an institution where hijab as part of uniform is allowed. Let me go back to Harish now. Harish, this point being made in the apex court is similar to what has been the argument. Can we have a situation where girls can be allowed to wear minis and midis or anything, whatever they want, if there is no power by government to enforce uniform? It is about enforcing uniform more of a matter of principle, more as uniform, which will ensure that all the students in that particular class look alike. They're not they're not differentiated upon.
Well, this is a point that the state has been making all along, saying that this has got nothing to do with religion. It's more of an administrative matter. We want to ensure that people who come to colleges from various socio-economic backgrounds do not get differentiated on any lines. And there should be a factor of uniformity among them within the class, within the campus. And that's one of the prime reasons we do not want anything else apart from the prescribed uniforms to be followed. And somewhere with the court making this observation, the state government would feel vindicated on its stance.